Now, what I wanted to get into was actually the radio. For whatever reason, if you want a little more control and you're not used to the throttles and rudder controls on this radio and you want to use your own radio, you can purchase an AnyLink, and it will allow you to bind your JR or your Futaba or your Spectrum radio to the 1SQ. So I want to get into that. It comes with 2 cords inside. This one in particular is for the JR and Spectrums, and then there's one for the Futaba with the square plug. Alright, here's your AnyLink system, or the AnyLink module. There's not much to it, it looks pretty simple. And then come over here. The instruction manual has disappeared, apparently. I don't know where it went. Oh, there it is. Instruction manual. It does require some reading, because, as I found out, if you don't read the manual first and you start plugging stuff together, your quad has a tendency to just take off and leave the area. So the way this hooks up is they send you some pretty heavy-duty hook and loop tape, and I mean heavy-duty because it's really hard to pull it off once you get it on there. But they want you to mount it to the back of your radio. Kind of like this. It's really a pain in the butt, trust me, to get on and off. I'm afraid I'll break something if I have to push it so hard. So I'll swap that out with some softer hook and loop later. But for now, that's kind of goes there. It has a servo type lead that plugs into the bottom of the AnyLink module. It only goes in one way, so there's no chance of screwing that up. They tell you to never plug the power lead in first, always plug this lead in first. Your radio comes on, of course my throttle hold is on, and then when you're ready to power up, plug this one in, and now you're good to go. You don't have to turn your radio on when you do that. It comes on automatically, so you never turn your radio on with a JR or a Spectrum. With a Futaba, I guess you do, but not with the JR or the Spectrum. And that's how that hooks up. That's simple enough. So, and it always tells you to unplug the power lead first, which is this one. Alright, so the guys at HeliMax are pretty smart people, and they know that if you've been flying helicopters at all, you're not going to want to stick with this radio. They know that you're going to get around to eventually figuring out how to map it to one of these. There's 2 mapping channels, the normal mapping channel and an alternate mapping channel. The normal mapping channel is for Futabas. The alternate mapping channel is for Spectrum and JR radios. When they talk about channel mapping, they're talking about your throttle, your aileron, your rudder, your elevator, all being set to like a normal or a reverse. For Futabas, they are all normal. For Spectrum and JR, they're all reversed. You need to go into your radio settings first and set up your model for your quad. Then you can start going into the function mode in your radio and set up reversing the different channels that you have to set up. Alright, I have my model set up, Model 9 Heli, it's my quad. You set up Model 9, I've named it quad. Yeah, you set it for 1 servo on normal. They say 1 servo 90 degrees, but I've tried that, doesn't work. 1 servo normal. Everything else is pretty much, I've got aux 2 gear, aux 2 gyro, and it works pretty well. Everything else is inhibited. Alright, the next thing you want to do is go into the channel mapping for the AnyLink. They tell you for Futabas, channels 1, 2, 3, and 4 are aileron, elevator, throttle, and rudder, respectively. And for JR and Spectrum, it's throttle, aileron, elevator, and rudder. And if you look at your radio, when you go into the function settings, you'll see that it matches. let's see, yeah. And what they want you to do, I'm trying to get that glare off the radio. What they want you to do is make sure that they're reversed for 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you need to do that first before you bind up your helicopter or your quad, or again, you'll end up in the ceiling tiles. I hate to keep referencing that, but that's what happens. Alright, so we're going to start setting up the AnyLink, and I've got it plugged in. I've got it at least hook and loop to the back. The first thing you do, and this is, again, I'm on a DX7, this is a Spectrum radio, and what happens when you first plug it in is that one goes in first, you'll get a beep. So I don't have to turn anything on because I'm on a Spectrum, and that's what it tells me to do. It'll automatically turn on as soon as you plug in this this jack right here. Now this is the power cord. Once you plug this in for the first time, you'll get one beep indicating that it's in normal channel mapping. So that means it's set up for Futaba radios. Okay, I don't want that. I want it to be set up for Spectrums. So I have to go to an alternative channel mapping mode, and I'll do that in just a second. So in order to get it to alternative channel mapping, you have to start over. You plug in your first jack there, one beep, your radio comes on, move your rudder all the way to the left or the right, plug in your power cord, you should get 3 beeps. Alright, there's 3 beeps, let go, and you get 2 beeps, and now you're in alternative channel mapping. So that means now I'm set up for a Spectrum radio. So once you have everything set up, just plug in the radio jack plug there. Oops, don't be pushing on the there. Turn on the power, 2 beeps, and then plug in the heli, and if it doesn't bind up right away, and mine did, then you have to push the little bind button, but I've forgotten that. I don't have to do it, thank goodness. And then you're ready to go, I guess. See if it works.